On behalf of American Airlines, thank you for joining us. I'm Jeff Corum, head of JFK T8 Commercial Affairs. As terminal operator of JFK Terminal 8, it's an exciting moment for American Airlines. American Airlines recently completed its $400 million terminal expansion that provided an enhanced travel experience for our customers and those of our partners. Now, we move on to the next phase of transforming JFK Terminal 8, a $125 million commercial redevelopment program being completed in partnership with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, along with JFK T8 Innovation Partners. This investment will expand and upgrade the concessions program with dynamic and all-new retail and dining options, placing an emphasis throughout the design, build, ownership, and operation on engaging locally owned and diverse businesses that reflect Queens, New York City, and New York State's one-of-a-kind spirit and culture. Together with the Port Authority and JFK T8 Innovation Partners, we look forward to providing a world-class experience for all those who travel and work at Terminal 8. JFK T8 Innovation Partners has been working hard to find concessionaire partners by engaging with the community. We at American Airlines could not have chosen a more dedicated commercial partner. Now we are ready to connect local, diverse businesses and build opportunities, and we look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you all for joining today. Our session over the next few weeks will be introducing you to the GCs that will be bidding on the concessions work. You will get to know a little about each company and how to pre-qualify with them in order to bid on the upcoming opportunities. Today, we will hear from BuildOps, Bonanza, and Holt Construction. At the end of our session, each GC will answer your questions. Thank you for attending.
Hi, my name is Bogdan Selnik. I'm an owner of BuildOps. We're a construction company here in New York. We also own Brooklyn Millwork, which is a millwork company in New York. We're based in Brooklyn. We have a 10,000 square feet facility here. We do millwork and steel work here, architectural metal as well. We've been in business since 2010, with over 14 years of experience in New York City. We build everything from residential to commercial, stores, medical facilities, dental offices, and many more. We have over 100 employees, project managers, site safety supers, site supervisors. We take construction and safety very seriously here at BuildOps. Yeah, as I said, we do general contracting. We also do construction management, and we do millwork and steel work and architectural metal work. Yeah, all the subcontractors that we hire, we pre-qualify here. We also hire a third-party company to help us with all the pre-qualifications. All the pre-qualifications happen via email. We do all the background checks for all the vendors that we work with. We check all the licenses, we check all the safety requirements, and all the insurances for the suppliers, vendors, for everybody we work with. Yeah, also the financial aspect of those companies is very important to us. We check that the companies that we work with are been in business for many years. They have a good standing with all the financial and construction departments.
Hello, everyone. I am Jessica Rondash, Director of Business Operations and Performance here at Holt Construction. Holt Construction has been in business since 1919, so over 100 years. We're one of the country's premier construction management and general contracting firms. We've worked on all sorts of projects inside and outside of the airport. Specifically at airports, we've done concessions, lounges, concourses, and more at JFK, LaGuardia, and EWR, for example. Currently, we are working on the capital work at Terminal 8 at JFK, and we're looking to bid on a bunch of the concessions going inside the terminal at Terminal 8. So we handle, like I said, construction management, general contracting, and alternative delivery methods. So to start working with Holt Construction, you're going to want to complete our pre-qualification process. The program we use to pre-qualify is Building Connected. We have several different types of applications, one for subcontractors, for service-only vendors, and for supply-only vendors. So the types of questions and things you'll need to upload will differ depending on the type of firm that you are. In order to pre-qual with us, you can go to our website, holtcc.com, and you can go to the subcontractor opportunity tab and fill out the form on there, which will then get routed directly to our contracts department, who will send you the pre-qual. Or you can reach out to me, jrondash@holtcc.com, and I'll get you a copy of the application. Also, while you're going through it, if you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me directly as well. The process for pre-qualification will be your request an application. Once we send that over to you, you'll submit it, you'll complete it with everything you need, upload all your documents, and then obviously submit it to us. We'll then review on our end with a couple of internal people, and then we'll either approve, deny, or request revisions from you, depending on what happens. The types of documents that we're going to ask for is first your certification and licenses, so any professional licenses you have, and then if you're an MWBE, an SBE, SDVOB, anything like that, we're going to ask you to upload a copy of that certification. For health and safety, we're looking for your EMR, your OSHA 300 log, your DART or TRIR, your safety manual, a copy of your OSHA compliant injury and illness protocol, and a copy of your COVID-19 protocol. For insurance and surety, we're going to look for your bond capacity, a sample COI, and a Holt COI packet that you'll need to fill out, and a link to that will be in the application. Then for financials, we're going to look for a W-9, for your banking references, and for a CPA prepared financial statement. If you don't have a financial statement prepared by a CPA, instead of that, we'll accept your most recent federal corporate tax return or an internal or compiled financial statement. For work experience, we're going to look for references on your most recently completed projects and a current estimated backlog. And then for legal, we're going to ask for a list of your claims and litigation, anything you have going on, and a signed copy of our Holt Master Agreement, which will also be linked to in our application. When you submit all of these things, like I said, we'll review on our end. If there's anything you don't have or doesn't apply to your organization in one way or another, you could just hit not applicable, write that out in the application. And we understand that certain things won't be available for certain companies. So for example, if you haven't been open for more than 5 years, you're not going to have an EMR rating yet. That is totally acceptable. You might not have certain types of financial statements. So whatever you have is what we're going to accept. Same thing, claims and litigation. If you have claims and litigation going on, what we're looking for is honesty. We're not going to disqualify you based solely on you having a claim or a litigation. So we really want you to err on side of giving us as much information as possible, and then we'll review it from there. But like I said, not having something or having a claim or a litigation is not going to automatically disqualify you. Once you submit the application, we'll review it on our end and we'll let you know the status. If we need more information, we're going to send that back to you to revise. On a revision, you don't have to fill everything out again. You're just going to update that 1 or 2 pieces of information we're looking for. And if we approve you, but only with, let's say, a certain limit to get you started with us, we're going to let you know that when we send back your application. So you'll always be up to date. And if you're looking to bid on projects with us, all that we're looking for is that you've started the pre-qual process. So if you have started the pre-qual process but haven't finished, you could still bid on work as long as you finish that process before you're awarded work. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to working with you at Holt Construction.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Latif Belfour, Principal of Bonanza Contracting. I'm here to discuss being pre-qual with Bonanza Contracting to work at JFK Terminal 8. Bonanza Contracting is an MBE family-owned firm. We are a general contractor and construction management base out in Rosedale, Queens. We have worked on numerous terminals throughout the airport, Terminal 8, Terminal 1, and Terminal 4. We're here to discuss about being qualified, being pre-qualified to participate with JFK. I'm going to run through our mission is to provide our client with professionalism, efficiency, and workmanship that brings our projects to life. Bonanza Contracting Corporate's vision to be leaders in aviation, construction management, and residential. We aspire to be known as innovative and good quality of work. We are certified with New York State, New York City, and the Port Authority. We specialize in construction management, carpentry, painting, signage, ornamental and glass. And we do currently work at the three major airports of the Port Authority, which is LaGuardia, Newark, and JFK. As far as our pre-qual vetting, there was a couple of questionnaires that we will ask our subs or new subs to be qualified with us in order to participate on some of our projects. First and foremost will be the company's name, the company's EIN, copy of your COI, along with the lost runs. We'll ask for your bonding capacity, proof of bonding, 3 forms of references, 3 of your largest projects, what do you self-perform internally in-house, a good guide letter from your financial institute, your MWBE or MBE certifications, whether it be the Port or New York State. Also, your manpower capacity. Are you affiliated with union or prevailing wage? And also, is your manpower, do they have SST, the proper qualifications, their SWAC or SIDA, and also past prior history report of your company and the owners of the company. And those are the main stuff that we look for subcontractors to be join with us.
Good afternoon, guys, and thank you for joining. So we have a couple of questions for Danny, Latif, Kimar, and Dennis, and myself. So one of the questions we received is, what specific work will you be doing for the JFK Terminal 8 concession program? You guys can both answer the question. Danny, you want to go first?
Yes, as we said in our presentation, we are general contractors and mill workers. So we are ready to take on any project that come our way. We do projects up to about $10 million per project. So we're open to any project, and we can look into it and bid on it.
And Latif, what specific work are you guys going to be doing for the Terminal 8 concessions program?
We're going to be looking at general contracting, construction management, and also carpentry. Then again, there's still a lot of carpentry on these concessions, so we're looking out for qualified subs to engage with us on that as well.
Thank you. So I have a question, and this is for all 3 of us. Does pre-qualifying allow me to work on other projects with your firm or just on the Terminal 8 projects? So Danny, let's go with you.
Yes, we can look into working on other terminals if the work come our way. We do construction management. We have project managers that specialize in any types of construction work and mill work, which is very big with us also.
And Latif, if a firm pre-qualifies with you, is it just for work on Terminal 8 or is it across the board with you?
Absolutely not. It's numerous projects. Once you qualify with us, perform great, we're looking you to perform on other projects with us. The more we grow, the more you grow. So excited for that.
And the same with Holt. Once you pre-qualify with Holt, you will also be able to get bidding opportunities pertaining to your scope on other projects, not just at the airports, but also outside of the airports. So yes, if you do pre-qualify with our firms, you will be able to not only perform or be able to bid on the projects at T8, but on other projects within our firms. So next question I have is, what qualifications are you looking for in companies who pre-qualify with you? Danny?
Very important is to qualify their staff that works for those companies. We look into people who's going to be running the show at their side. Also, their financial standing is very important, and the company just have to be in business for a long time to be able to qualify with us. We don't really hire companies that just popped up on the market. We do look for the lost runs and all that.
And then Latif, same for you. What qualifications are you looking for in companies that pre-qualify with you?
We're looking for guys and women that similar size project, at least for our first go around, successful projects which they have completed, so we could reference back to. So yeah, type like that, sizes that they are accustomed of doing, so we would be able to grow.
Perfect. Next question we have is about bidding processes. So Danny, what does the bidding process look like to work with your firm? Can you walk us through a bidding process as if I was a sub and you were the GC I was trying to work with?
Yes, so we basically sent out a package with all the information in it. Then we collect all the questions within the next few weeks after the package was sent out. Once we have all the answers from the architects and the engineers, design team, then we send back those RFIs, and then we look for an estimate within, usually all the estimates come in within 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, depending on the project size.
And Latif, what is your bidding process like as well?
Kamar, you want to take this? You're more involved in the bidding process.
Sure. So the bidding process is we'll send out an email pretty much all architectural paperwork in regards to what the scope of work is. Once we review, once that's returned to us, we'll internalize that. We'll go through the numbers. We also set up a call with you. We'll go through the numbers to make sure everything will tie out, and then we provide a response in a timely manner in regards to if the bid was awarded to you, or where we can kind of do some leveling there in regards to bid. That's how we process it here at Bonanza.
Thank you. And then for Holt, what we do is usually the bidding goes through Building Connected. So what you'll do is if you're pre-qualified with our firm, will get an invitation to bid via Building Connected. I would make sure that the Building Connected emails are not going to your junk, or you put them on the do not block list as well. Sometimes what ends up happening is you'll get the invite, and then we get the question, what happened? I never got invited. Usually goes to the spam. So you'll be getting the bid opportunities to bid on the projects through Building Connected, which then in turn in there has all the bidding documents for you to review. And then you'll be submitting your bid estimates via Building Connected, where you will be in contact with our PMs or estimators at that time. Next question is pertaining to bidding. Are there opportunities for me to ask questions before submitting my bid for a project? Danny, I'll give this one to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're open to hear all the questions. You'll get the contact list of all the people in the company who's working on that current project. So you're open to submit any kinds of questions, even if you don't think they're proper, or we get all the questions. It's better to hear all of them than not hear it at all.
I agree. And Latif, same with you. Are the subcontractors able to ask you questions before the bid is submitted?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's two forms of questions, either internal questions about the company, pre-qual, that comes directly to us, or if you have RFI questions pertaining to the project, which we definitely highly recommend, so we all are clear and understand what's going to the project. So yes, there's two types of questions: company internal questions, which obviously we are engaged with, and also RFI questions pertaining to the specific project.
Thank you. And then for Holt, usually it's done by RFI. You will submit an RFI, and then our PMs or estimators will respond to that RFI, or in turn, we will submit that over to the architect or the design group. Next question that we have is, is there any follow-up if my bid is declined? Can I ask questions next time so that I can submit a better bid next time? Dan, you want to take this one first?
Yes, our relationship with our subcontractors is very important to us. So we are pretty open book here, so they are welcome to come in. We'll have a sit down with them and show them where the numbers were off, so they can work on their future material suppliers or whatever went wrong, why they did not win the bid. So we're very open with that with them.
Kimar, is there a follow-up if a bid is declined, and can subs ask questions or work with you to propose a better bid next time?
Yes, there is. We do have a call with our subs to go through the numbers to ensure like everything is tied off, to give them a better opportunity, kind of walk them through the process and why they weren't awarded, so we can, definitely digest in other ventures. So we definitely have a follow-up call with our subcontractors in regard to the number. We just don't give a blanket response of being rejected. We have a follow-up.
Thank you. Dennis, I have a question for you. What percentage of the work is exterior work or maintenance work?
So I would say the exterior work really will be limited to any roofing work that you'll have in terms of running your exhaust, running your makeup air units. So that would be the limit of the exterior work. As it relates to maintenance, I mean, this is not really any type of maintenance efforts. We are focusing on doing a full redevelopment, full construction for these projects. So it will be a full redevelopment type of project. So I would say zero for maintenance.
Okay, thank you. There's a question specific to Holt, but I think this will also pertain to you, Danny, and Latif and Kamar. The question is, how long after submitting the pre-qualification application until we hear back from the contractor? So for Holt specifically, it's what we tell you guys to do is submit your pre-qualification package as soon as you can. The longer you take, the longer it sits out there in your ball of court, and then the longer it'll take us to review. Our review process has all of our department heads have to review all the documentation that you sent through. So normally it depends on how quickly you submit it. It can be about 1 week to 2 weeks. If there are revisions needed or more information required, we do email you back noting what we need or if a phone call needs to be set up. So it's all dependent on whether you submit the correct documentation, whether you submit enough documentation, and the time that you submit the actual application. Danny, I'll ask you the same thing. How long do subs normally have to wait to hear back if they've been pre-qualified with bill docs or not?
Yeah, so usually when we send out those packages, so we really expect everybody to be ready at that point, and we are expecting everybody to send everything back in a week. Yeah, if it wasn't submitted, we're not really gonna qualify you because it seems that you were not prepared for this. And and then we pre-qualify within a week or two, depending on the amount of paperwork we have to go through and amount of amount of work we still have to do to check on all the paperwork if it's a real paperwork even. So about a week or two.
Lots of paperwork. So it depends on all the paperwork and how quickly everybody gets it in, right? So, and then Kimar, same for you guys. How long does it usually take to get pre-qualified with Bonanza?
About 7 to 10 business days, we try to turn around our pre-qualifications. That's the standard that we've been going. I'm trying to get back to the as soon as possible.
Perfect. So roughly it's about 1 to 2 weeks with all of our firms. Again, it's dependent on how quickly you submit that application. So if you are interested, just go ahead and request it today and start the process. So Dennis and Kimar represent, Dennis is from URW and Kimar is representing Bonanza. Someone asked who you guys worked for. So there we go. Next question is, do you look for companies that conduct training or any type of hospitality logistics? Danny, do you guys look for companies that conduct any type of training specific to construction training?
Yeah, absolutely. We hire consultants all the time to give us a better knowledge of what's going on the market and all the new technologies that popping up every day. So we constantly have somebody here training our staff, especially at the mill workshop. We have those training sessions about every month. Somebody's coming in to show us new effective ways of doing things. And same goes to the construction. All our PMs constantly go to training with consultants that we hire.
And then Latif, same for you. Do you guys look for companies that conduct any type of training specific to construction, whether it's project management or on-site training?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always looking for on-site training, off-site training. It also depends on the product and what service you provide. If there's a need for that, we're definitely engaged. We're always looking to grow, always looking to accelerate, the schedule and our clients' needs. So it all depends on your services. But yes, we do.
So another question we have is, if we have been qualified with the firm for another project previously, do we need to requalify for this particular project? Danny, you want to take that one first?
If it's an ongoing subcontractor that we constantly work with, not necessarily, no. But if you're a new company with in our system, then yes, of course.
And then Latif, same thing. Do they have to requalify for a project, or once they qualify with you, they're qualified?
Yes, once they're qualified, they're qualified. There's no need to requalify. If by any chance if a contractor wasn't approved, then yes, you will have to requalify. But once you qualify, you're already in our database, and we're looking to work together.
And then for Holt, once you're qualified with us, you don't have to requalify to bid on projects or work on projects. However, we do have a renewal process, and I think it's every 2 years you are required to resubmit the pre-qualification. So you're renewing your pre-qualification with us. This includes any changes within your company. So for Holt, no, it's not specific to project. However, there's a renewal process overall for the company. Next question is, we're getting a lot of manpower question. Will there be a need for construction laborers or final cleaning or escorting services? Dennis, I will give you the escorting services portion if you want to take that one. And then as far as laborers, I'm sure we all have had our experience with the laborers on our job site. So yes, if there is a need, please reach out to info@rfwconsultants.com. Manpower is always needed across the board. I think I can speak on behalf of all of us that we're always looking for great on-site personnel to help us build these projects. And then
Yeah.
Dennis, escorting.
As it relates to escorting, I mean, absolutely. This is, as everybody can appreciate, is a secure environment, and the amount of badges that Port Authority gives out is also specific and limited a lot of times. So there's definitely a need for escorting services, and they will be utilized quite effectively and in abundance, I should say. So yes.
Thank you, Dennis. Next question is regarding suppliers. Are we looking for suppliers such as equipment or for construction? Danny?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Are we looking for suppliers in regards to construction equipment?
No, we have those suppliers set up already. Those usually are people that we worked with for years, so we don't like to change those too often.
Then Latif?
Suppliers, it depending on the products you guys are providing, maybe we could collaborate with some of our other subs. Maybe they could reach out for you as well. But typically no, but you never know. Yes, I will urge you guys to qualify with us, list the products that you guys do provide, and maybe we could collaborate or tell our other subs to use you guys as well.
Yes, and same here. It depends on what products you're providing, whether or not there's a need on the project. So it really depends. Again, if there is a question or you're not sure if there's an opportunity available for your supply company, just reach out to our info.TA email, and someone from the RFW consultants team will respond to you whether or not there's opportunity for the products that you do provide. Next question I have is, do you anticipate any cost estimating and CPM scheduling services? Either one of you can take it if you want.
Well, we typically don't. That's all handled way beforehand. So no, we don't as Bonanza contract, and that's already set in stone. Dennis, Danny, I don't know about you.
Yes, here in build-ups, we also do everything in-house that comes to estimating and scheduling.
Okay, and yes, same for Holt. We have our in-house estimating team that does provide that. There have been cases in the past where we have worked with schedulers from an outside source. But again, it's dependent on the project. It's dependent if there is the opportunity there. But majority of us on this call will already have our in-house estimators doing all the grunt work. I think that is it for questions. If anybody has any other questions that we were not able to get to, or you were not able to get it in time, please reach out to the info T8@rfwconsultants.com. They can also provide you for each of our contacts. You have Bonanza here, Latif and Kimar. You have Danny here with buildups. You have myself here for Holt Construction. So please, please, please send in those questions. Pre-qualify with all of our firms. On August 19th, we will be meeting with 3 other general contractors that you can have the opportunity to work and qualify with them as well. Again, that's on August 19th at 1 p.m. I look forward to seeing you guys all there. And thank you, Danny, Latif, Kimar, and Dennis for joining today.